Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and you're watching my review for Nobunagun, Episode 3. And this episode mostly just covers Shio's training. This guy, Saint Germain, he, he drops her off in like a jungle or something, and he just leaves her there. And she ends up getting attacked by these invasion objects all of a sudden, and she loses pretty quickly. I don't think she took out a single one. But it turns out that it's just that all of that, the jungle, the invasion objects, all of those things were just an illusion created by Robert Capa. And I looked him up. Apparently, Robert Capa is this famous photographer who died in the 50s, I think. He was born in the 1910s, and he died in the 50s. He stepped on a landmine, but he was a photographer, and he covered multiple wars. So, and he's pretty famous, I think. You know, I mean, he's in this anime, so he's obviously he's made a name for himself. But you know, still, that's Robert Capa. And we can kind of see that his history reflected in Robert Capa's AU weapon, which is the entire point of an AU weapon. But yeah, you get it. All right, so yeah, that's that. We end up switching to the next day after that, and she's working her butt off and training, running. She even has to take classes to learn about what the series is about because just like us, she was just thrown into this without any knowledge of what's going on. So for her benefit and for ours, we're trying to explain a few things. And one of the things they explain is that when E-holders activate their AU weapons, there are a bunch of different effects that happen. One is that they get enhanced physical abilities. Another is that they get a mental rush. Another one is that there's a change in the animation. But you know those just a few things they mentioned. Shio, we never really get that much in these scenes because Shio always ends up falling asleep, getting hit by chalk that Saint Germain throws at her. But yeah, that night apparently there's no cell phone signal there. So at night she kind of sneaks out and finds this tower. So she wants to go there to try and get a signal, but she ends up getting distracted and sidetracked by these like planes and stuff. And when she's like taking pictures of the planes, all these guys show up behind her, and they're pretty much pretending to be your typical Japanese anime guys, because all Japanese anime guys are perverts who are obsessed with little girls and like schoolgirls. So they're just pretending to be one of those guys. And it turns out that they're just Shio fanboys. She's an E-Gene holder, and guys like them, like apparently E-Gene holders are VIP, so they never really get to see them. So they're kind of just big Shio fanboys. And I could tell from the beginning that these guys weren't really going to be too important. I mean, because too many of them were introduced at once. Way too many. All right. So from the start, I just had a feeling that these guys are the type of characters to be introduced for the sole purpose of having something happen to them, and that's what ends up happening in the end. But though I don't know if it happened to all of them. I know for a fact it happened to at least one or two of them, but all of them I'm not really sure because we only really see one plane taking off. But before I actually get to that, let me talk about Alex Logan. The main guy, the face of the Hurricane Hunter guys, mentioned this thing called Alex Logan, and what we know about that is that it's something that needs to be supplied, but that's all he would mention about it. He said, you know, oh, you'll find out soon enough. So, all right, so yeah, we'll find out soon enough. Yeah, and after that, we just see more training. Pretty much. The class that day, we learned that it should be possible for E-Gene holders to use their AU weapons without the AU orbs or balls or whatever they're called. I completely forgot. So that's probably some foreshadowing for that actually happening later on in the series. Maybe not the anime, but the manga at least. And we see Shio talking with Capa, and apparently she calls herself Nobunagun just because it sounds cool. Personally, I think Nobunaga sounds cooler, but I mean, it's only one syllable, so whatever. But okay, it's just opinion, I guess. And after that, Capa tells her that all those Hurricane Hunter guys, they're just shields that are meant to be sacrificed so that the I Ching holders can do their job and destroy the outer objects, the invasion objects, because the I Ching holders in the battle against the invasion objects are their only assets. Those guys are just shields for them. Alright? And he also ends up adding in that the damage that was caused in Taiwan could have been contained better if Shio had actually like shot down that infantry class object. Infantry class. So yeah, he's trying to get her angry, and he ends up using his power to create clones of her. Alright? And they start fighting. She gets shot by a bunch of them, but the bullets don't do anything to her. As a matter of fact, they felt good apparently because she started blushing and like making noises and crap. So I guess those bullets are kind of like a Rikuo Nura's sword from Nururio Namaga, aka Nura Rise of the Yokai Clan. Now his sword can't hurt humans, but it can hurt yokai. So I'm guessing her bullets are kind of like that. They can destroy invasion objects, but they can't hurt humans. And she's starting off pretty badly at this point, so Capa changes the scenery so that she can take advantage of it and try to actually hide and just fight better. So that's what she tries to do, but she kind of fails there. According to Capa, she's the one that designs her AU weapon, and she should be able to customize it along with her bullets, but she's unable to really do that until Capa decides to have one of the clones sit on his lap. Then he says, oh, well, if you're going to spend all that time trying to take those girls down, I guess I'll just have a little fun doing naughty stuff with this one. And he unzips her jacket. That's when her boobs grow faster than the Grinch's heart on Christmas. Right? And so then she hits it. She shoots it down pretty easily. And a fraction before it blows up, her boobs get smaller again to the size you would actually think they are. So I don't know, maybe that means that he can customize the clones he creates as well, kind of like how she's supposed to be able to customize her bullets and gun, which we see her customize the muzzle for the gun. But so yeah, so maybe he can just control the clones and like customize them as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. She ends up failing anyway. Even after she gets that one hit in, she still ends up failing. And the end of the episode shows the main hunt. Well, no, there's the scene before that where all the Hurricane Hunter guys are out there, and they all have pictures of her clones. And all these pictures are photoshopped. Like her boobs are like bigger than her head now. They're like their size multiplied by like 5. It was ridiculous. And the anime has this habit of like putting notes on the screen, like pointing to things, and it was like, oh, those aren't her real boobs, photoshopped ? Like, so that was pretty funny. Well, not, it didn't say Photoshop because Photoshop is copy, but you know what I mean. It said shopped. So yeah, that was pretty funny. And the main Hurricane Hunter guy goes on that mission, going to the hurricane, gets taken out by this thing in there. And I don't know how, like I said before, I don't know how many guys were actually on that mission because I only remember one plane taking off. But hey, yeah, that's pretty much it for the episode. Capa and Shio end up getting called in at the end there, and that's it. So overall, I'll give this episode a 6.5 out of 10 because it was mostly just training. No real development, really. Capa got introduced, so that was cool. Plus, there was a little bit of comedy here and there, so that was cool. But overall, it was just an okay episode. So I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. But yeah, that's it for now, you guys. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.